Okay, Spawn TV Live will come to you from the chamber of the House of Representatives, and today happens to be the 4th day sitting of the House. A lot of communications have been read on the floor already, and one of the most debated communication was a proposal or a bill that the president submitted for female genital mutilation to be banned in Liberia. That proposal sparked some very serious debates here, with a lot of the lawmakers opposing the bill. Yes, some opposing and some, in favor of the bill. All of the female lawmakers, of course, supported that bill, but some of the, male lawmakers, like 𝗰𝗵 and others, opposed that bill. But my name is 𝗰𝗵 𝗦𝗬𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗍𝗓. We are still here. We understand there should be some appearance very shortly here at the legislature. So the legislators are having some side discussions and, awaiting the appearance in the soonest possible time. So don't go away. We are here to bring you every bit of happening here at the legislature.
Let me get my bag.
So appearing here today is Professor 𝗰𝗵 𝗰𝗑, head of the Governance Commission. He's already here in the chamber of the House of Representatives, alongside a team of employees from the Governance Commission. Yeah. How you doing, man?
No, man. Yeah.
Okay. Double check back. Wow, witnesses in present, so we are about to read the communication and some of the witnesses here. So other chief clerk, please read those communication.
Honorable Richard 🗵𗗗 Speaker of the House of Representatives, 55th Legislature, Capital Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Subject: Request for information on the implementation of the Local Government Act of 2018. Dear Honorable Speaker and fellow colleagues, with the theme of the highest assurance, I bring you warm greetings and facilitation on behalf of the people of ฎِma County District 2. Honorable Speaker and distinguished colleagues, the Local Government Act of 2018 establishes a framework of the decentralization of our governance system through the demolition of power and acceleration of development at a grassroots level. The Act, amongst other things, seeks to A. Give effect to the country's national policy and decentralization and local governance. B. Ensure democratic participation in and control of decision-making by the citizenry. C. Create and establish democratic and political administrative structures in local governance. And D. Ensure sources of revenues in support of local government administration and operations. Honorable Speaker and distinguished colleagues of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature, in order for the above objectives of this act to be fully realized, the required time-bound implementation and investment plan have to be made. Against this background, Honorable Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I recommend the indulgence of plenary to request the Minister of Internal Affairs to provide critical information and documentation regarding the implementation status of the Local Government Act of 2018. As the National Ministry tasked with oversight and guidance on matters of local governance, the Ministry serves as the primary repository for the information necessary for effective representation and oversight. In fulfillment of our legislative and constituent responsibilities, and to ensure the seamless integration of national policy with local development, I respectfully request the following specific matters. 1. Detailed implementation regulations. We request a certified copy of all detailed regulations, framework, and procedural guidelines developed by the Ministry for the operationalization and implementation of the Local Government Act of 2018. 2. Status of existing cities, Chapter 2.16c. We seek an official report on status of clarifying the position of all existing cities within the Republic in strict reference to the provisions and criteria outlined in Chapter 2, Section 16c of the Act. This is to understand the conformity of framework. 3. Operations of county councils. We request a comprehensive briefing on the current operational status of all county councils as established by the Act. This should include, but not limited to, their established structures, functional capacities, meeting records, and the challenges and successes encountered in their formation and operation to date. This information is vital for the members of the 55th Legislature as it will directly inform our policy review, guide our constituency engagement, and shape forthcoming legislative interventions aimed at strengthening local governance for the benefit of all Liberians. Please accept, Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest consideration and esteem. Respectfully, Honorable 𝗵𝗗 𝗵𝗗, Member of the House of Representatives, ฎِma County Electoral District 2. Communication from Honorable E.C. Collins. Honorable Richard 🗵🗗, Speaker of the Honorable House of Representatives, Capitol Building, Capital Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Honorable Speaker, I extend compliments and respectfully seek the indulgence of your esteemed office to bring to the attention of this honorable plenary a matter of pressing concern regarding the full implementation of the legislative projects across all 73 constituencies as appropriated in the national budget for fiscal year 2024 and 2025. As you are aware, the execution of legislative projects under the 2024 national budget was exclusively undertaken by the Liberian Agency for Community Empowerment, while the implementation of projects under 2025 fiscal period is currently being spearheaded by the Ministry
My name is
of
𝗰𝗁𝗵 here at the chamber of the House of Representatives. So currently we have in the midst of the lawmakers here, the Internal Affairs Minister 𝗰𝗁𝗵 and of course the chairman of the Governance Commission, Professor Larry Tokpa. They were summoned here by the House of Representatives based on communication from lawmakers. One of the communications came from 𝗵𝗏𝗏 County District Number 2 Representative, Honorable 𝗰𝗏𝗵. So they are already seated here, and very shortly they will be mounting the podium to provide some clarification on the Local Governance Act of 2018.
Under the 2024 budget across all 73 constituencies. Similarly, I further request that the Honorable Plenary invites the Minister of Internal Affairs to provide a detailed update on the current status of the 2025 legislative projects, including timelines, scope, and constituencies coverage. I trust that this request will receive your favorable consideration as we collectively strive to uphold the principles of equitable development and legislative oversight. Please accept, Honorable Speaker, the renewed assurances of my highest esteem and consideration. Sincerely, Honorable 𝗏𝗧𝗑 Collins, representative Electoral District 4, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
A communication from Representative 𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏 of Lofa County.
Dear Honorable Con, I present my compliments and pleased to herewith crave the indulgence of plenary to cite the Minister of Internal Affairs to provide clarification as to the status of the legislative constituency district fund appropriated in the fiscal year 2025 national budget. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and distinguished colleagues, it is important that the Honorable Minister appears before us to provide clarification on this matter as we are in the last quarter of the fiscal year 2025. I believe every member of this 55th Honorable House of Representatives is equally concerned about development works in our respective districts and the status of the fiscal year 2025 legislative constituency district fund. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and distinguished colleagues, kindly permit me to say.
I've just seen the appearance of the arrival of former Speaker 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. He has been seated.
Invite the Honorable Chairman, the Governance Commission, October 16, 2025. The Honorable Chairman, Governance Commission, 3rd Street, Central, Liberia. Dear Honorable Chairman, I present compliments and write by directive of the Honorable House of Representatives in section to kindly invite you to appear before its plenary on Thursday, October 23, 2025.
The newly elected representative of District Number 5, 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is here.
That you provide critical information and documentation regarding the implementation of the local government
Representative
amongst others, his
Priscilla is also here.
oversight and guidance on matters of local governance, which
A lot of other lawmakers.
in a time-bound implementation and investment plan. Please see copy for use of reference. In view of the aforesaid, the plenary of the House will have me to entreat you to turn to this call with the utmost readiness to spotlight the Local Governance Act. Best regards, sincerely, Mildred and Sarah Chiefsburg. The invite to the Executive Director, Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment. The Executive Director, Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment, 𝗏𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏𝗏, Liberia. Dear Executive Director, I present compliments and my directive of the Honorable House of Representatives in session. Kindly invite you to appear before this plenary on Thursday, October 23, 2025, p.m. Honorable Executive Director, as you may be aware, the execution of legislative projects was enabled by 2024 national budget under the guidance and implementation of the Liberian Agency for Community Development. While the same is placed in the 2025 fiscal year budget currently spearheaded by the MIA. However,
okay, so that is the Minister of Internal Affairs, Princess 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, wearing a Kango there, and sitting alongside him is the Chairman of the Governance Commission, Professor Larry Toba. In as soon as possible time, there will be mounting podium to provide some clarification regarding, concerns from lawmakers about the Local Governance Act.
The Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs.
Sport TV Live, keep following.
Dear Honorable Minister, I present compliments and my directive of the Honorable House of Representatives in session. Kindly invite you to appear before this plenary on Thursday, October 23, 2025 at 10 a.m. Honorable Minister, your appearance is requested by Honorable 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Representative Electoral District.
Just so you know,
Honorable 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has been recurrent power outage here at the lower house today. The electricity here has been going off and all. To the execution
it's been
of the
fluctuating.
Projects approved in 2024 national budget, and 3,
and this is kind of becoming frequent because just on Tuesday there was another power outage here at the lower house, and then today it's been recurrent. That is, it's been repeated. It's been off and on, off and on, off and on.
The same is placed in the fiscal year 2025 budget being implemented by the MIA. Please see attached copies of letters. In view of the above mentioned,
and folks, just so you know, one of the biggest issues that was debated here today was a communication, a proposal from the President, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, to ban harmful practices in the country, talking about female genital mutilation. That issue sparked a very, very serious debate among lawmakers. But the communication has the proposal has been sent to committee room.
The responsibility of the minister from the General Affairs, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, will also first to address the issue of our legislative project, and then we move on to the Local Government Act after the decision has been rendered by plenary on our local government, on our legislative project. So we ask you to start with the project first. We make decision that we move on to the Local Government Act. Thank you.
Observation. Approach the chair,
please. Please go ahead. Approach the chair. Please put our witness on oath. We're waiting you.
Honorable witnesses, raise your right hand. Call your name and position and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that the testimony I'm about to provide as it relates to the hearing will be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you, Sergeant. We now urge the Minister of Internal Affairs to please take the podium and address an issue relating to the legislative project.
Just one concern.
Approach the chair.
Approach the chair.
Minister, the floor is yours. Colleagues, please have to be attentive and listen to the Minister as it relates to the legislative project. Approach the chair.
Mr. Speaker, Deputy Speaker, distinguished members of the House of Representatives, I take this time to extend my thanks and appreciation for this invite. To address the concern expressed in the letter of invitation to me. Let me firstly appreciate you for seeing reason
While speaking is Internal Affairs Minister Francis
the
𝗰𝗵
right institution, the Minister of Internal Affairs.
Alongside him, we have Professor Larry Tokma
One of his
as well as
handling
the
the
head
affairs
of
of our
lanes,
interior or the rural sector of our country,
Julius 𝗪
making a determination that the county development project line established by the national legislature be sent or placed under the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Why then? We must employ you for that because we are responsible for the development, the physical development of the rural sector of our country. Having received the budget, we approach the leadership of the House and approach the leadership of the Senate with separate chambers. We enter an MOU that guard the operationalization of the projects. Following that, we wrote the both houses, informing them on the procedure for the implementation of the projects, beginning with procurement, and so the Honorable Liberian Senate were very proactive and very cooperative, and so we have gone far with them. On the House side, I guess because of the situation that the House went through for several months, we couldn't hear any concrete response. When the dust got settled, we again approached the House leadership and subsequently wrote providing the guidelines for the implementation of the projects. As you may know, the first thing we did, district development projects under the direct supervision or oversight of the legislature or individual legislators is to ensure that the project selected by the legislature is already determined in the CDA, and that's the Country Development Agenda. When that is done, the site is verified by us where you want the project to be executed. Following that, we'll go through the PPCC process. Following that, the contractor who wins that bid will sign a contract with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and then the implementation of the project starts. In the case of the House, we just sent a text communication a few weeks ago requesting a list of projects from the Honorable House, individual projects, giving us the location so that we verify the site, and then we go through the tender. At the level of the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry is cooperating very well, but what all the requirements are to come from the legislature, we are yet waiting. As far as the House projects are concerned, what assurance we have is that the Ministry of Finance is prepared and willing to make the funds available once we complete the process. So we have communicated that with the leadership of the House and waiting for you to just do the needful for us to begin the implementation with immediate effect. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Minister. Approach the chair. We just listened to our minister on issues related to our project. We now have to find a way forward.
Yeah, thank you.
We ask our Safoko.
Honorable Speaker, we need to ask questions. It's not real power. I have a question. Honorable Speaker,
Approach the
I
chair.
have a question for the minister.
Approach the chair.
Honorable Speaker, I get a question for the minister. I agree. I get a question for the minister.
We'll ask you out. Approach the chair.
They've been accurate on the 5. These are accurate on the 4. Yeah, I'm about to tell this. When put someone else go to the board, they have
So, the letter of restrainer to 2025, not 2024. 2025. 2024 to this. So, Safoko Jr., please provide a way forward for the honorable colleagues.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, fellow colleagues. With regard to very clear explanation from a former colleague, now minister, I would like to recommend to this body finding a better way forward in keeping with the legislature playing her part. We ask the body that the minister leave, and in subsequent time, the legislature can play her part in keeping with the different issues that has to do with documentation.
On this issue, the minister will now move to the letter. But let us inform our colleagues that from here forward, please work along with the Deputy Speaker to make sure you have your list of questions submitted to him, and he's going to relay that to the minister. With that being said, are you all now in favor of this thing? Say yay. Minister, thank you so much. We can now approach the next issue relating to the local government. So we have the proponent of that case relating to the local government act to give a opening remark. President Chair, please.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I appreciate the opportunity given me to make an opening statement with regard to my communication reference to the implementation of the Local Government Acts. When laws are made, before they are implemented, there are guidelines or regulations developed to make sure that they cover key provisions of those laws to pave the way for implementation. And against this background, we will understand that the Ministry of Internal Affairs has done a similar thing to pave the way for the implementation of the Local Government Act. In the Local Government Act, there are a couple of low-hanging fruits that will not require funding, for example, once the executive is committed to its implementation. For example, the Local Government Act requires that every city mayor must have a bachelor degree. That one, it doesn't require funding. It also requires that commissioners, national commissioners, have PA degree. It also doesn't require money. And besides that, if the Local Government Act is to work where county councils are being created, the guidelines for the operation of the county council must be clear, because some of our oversight responsibility have been taken and given to the county council. Once we have a clear guideline that stipulates how we can also interact with the county council, I think it will pave the way for a cordial working relationship. Against this background, my communication seeks to ask the Ministry of Internal Affairs to bring us up to speed as to where we are in terms of the requisite regulations, in terms of the status of the county council and their operations, and where the challenges lie, so that all of us can work together at the end of the day
to make sure that this instrument is implemented and implemented to the fullest. I therefore submit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we
The voice of Representative
now allow the witness
Yam
to take
from
the stand
District Number 2,
and start the
Back
discussion
County, who wrote a communication
on the issue related to our
the
local government act.
plenary to invite the Internal Affairs Minister. Let's now go over to the Internal Affairs Minister for his response.
To the best of my knowledge, there is no part of the act that either the Minister of Internal Affairs has read any section that gave the Ministry or the Ministry the responsibility to determine the qualification of a mayor or the mayor or the district commissioner. However, it is required, that requirement is enshrined in the Local Government Act. But there is not a responsibility given the ministry or the minister responsible for local government. It will be a duty of the president. And so, when the president appoints a mayor or an administrative district or township district commissioner, and that person comes with an appointment letter from the president, this minister is no longer qualified to question whether the president met the requirement or not. The president met the requirement or not. Once the president determines that that person is qualified, competent, and the appointment is effective, all I do is put the president on payroll and begin to supervise them. That's what I do as far as the appointment of local government officials is concerned. The other thing is, for county councils, the county councils are constituted in keeping with what is enshrined in the Local Government Act. Their establishment or their composition is a representation of, it reflects a representation of groupings at county level, determined by the Local Government Act. And so when a council is constituted, their TOR is already determined by the Act. Yes, indeed, there are guidelines that they formulate to work with, and that authority is given to them by the law that created them. Just as the legislature will make its own rules, the council makes its own rules, and they operate. What I do know is that, and I have written both houses, even during the budget preparation last year for 2025, the remuneration for members of the county council is determined by the legislature, which has not been done. It is our hope that in the 2026 budget, there will be a line to take care of that. But beyond what the Honorable Representative of Liberia County has inquired in his communication, I want to seize this moment to brief the honorable members of the House of Representatives on the activities, achievement,
But for now, what's something?
CMC, what happened now?
and the
Don't want the step. Your minister told me you're the majority black. No, but you're majority black. I am minister. Okay.
Because
They're not confused. The men are not making up. He needs to understand it. Before you leave, you have to try to execute. Don't have the executive way before you leave.
Oh, very cool.
Deputy Speaker, members of the Honorable House of Representatives, upon assumption of our responsibility to administer internal affairs, we saw the need for the implementation of the Uganda Act. Prior to our employment, during the tenure of predecessor, and following the coming in of the Local Government Act, grew up as the implementation plan.
Please approach the chair.
A 10 years implementation plan of the Local Government Act. To the best of our understanding, this is our 7th year.
You see the disturbance here?
This is the 7th year out of the 10 years of the implementation plan. Having realized that there are challenges in meeting up with the 10 years schedule of the implementation, we have hired the services of a consultant. We have hired the services of a consultant to review the implementation plan so that we relaunch.
Very cool. We'll soon urge you out. Yeah, please. Thank you.
The Speaker, thank you, Speaker.
Members of the Arab Council.
Members of the legislature. We have succeeded establishing all of the structures of the local government as provided for by the Local Government Act. We have in place the County Council. We have in place the National Council of Chiefs established. We have in place the County Development Unit. As I speak to you, my superintendents are undergoing training along with their finance officers, their development officers, and other essential staff for the establishment of county treasuries. Because if we will fully decentralize the government system of our country, then of course local governments at the level of the counties must begin to take their full responsibility and be in charge of fiscal affairs of their counties. To do so, we need what we call county treasuries. We need what we call county development units, district development units. The development units have been fully structured. Personnel to run those units have been trained. All we need now is for you to increase our budget so that those structures become functional. The county treasurers will soon be ready. As of 2026, when the execution beginning, we want county treasurers to take charge of county official affairs. But at the end of that, prior to that, as I speak to you, members of the members of the local government fiscal pool to be appointed by the president. To be appointed by the president.
Very cool. Robert, very cool. You said you are leading volunteering.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I want to listen to my uncle. I see over there.
We are working with the Ministry of Finance. And we have succeeded in the members who will constitute the membership of the local government fiscal pool. That communication between us will be sent to the president by the local Ministry of Finance. Subsequent appointment. So that as far as this one operation is concerned, and local government level will be distinguished members of the House, we are also pleased to report that our county service centers have been fully established. We are treating all of our personnel. Coordinators were selected based on the public selection. A vetting process was carried out. They were selected and trained and subsequently deployed in all the countries. What we need now is we need to digitize the centers. Fortunately, no taking time. As a project, a great project that is helping us to equip those centers with the needed electronic equipment, CT equipment, and they are going to help us to digitize all of our centers. We are also pleased to report that working with the Ministry of Finance and Development, we have gone through training our superintendents, our finance officers across the country, and our central office have been trained to disaggregate our national budget so that every country administration will know what is in the budget for that country, how they're going to spend it, and they will be passed on to the country treasury. So that we're doing that because in the decentralization process, it's not just about giving the people political power, but they must get the financial power as well, the fiscal and press power. And so we're going to have a situation where the county health officer of local county, for example, we no longer come to Monrovia to secure, to get money to buy drugs, but everything will be at the county treasury. The county education officer of local county will no longer come to Monrovia. We run after justice, we run after London, because we are guilty as Minister of Interior Affairs to approve a lottery before county superintendent including county social development funds. So what we are doing now is we are putting operation, the county, the revenue sharing law. In order to implement the revenue sharing law, there are involved regulations. The regulations have been validated and launched. And so, whatever is going to be generated at the level of the county service centers, the county will get their share. Whatever we can collect as a national government, what belongs to local county again, the whole county and also the account as far as revenue sharing law is concerned. The stipulations are there. We're here when the law was made, so we know what we're talking about. Yay! And so, Mr. Speaker, can I show you?
All right, gentlemen, hold on. Let me show land and we all do. We all show from a medical. You guys welcome here today. Thank you, sir. So we are the good governance to make them on the case, and we can now open up the floor for a few questions. Minister, please have a seat. Can I take those, please? Let me go.
So the Minister of Internal Affairs has just addressed members of the lower house. Now on the podium is the chairman of the Governance Commission, Professor 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Of the Republic of Liberia.
He did. We will see.
Speaking after the Minister, the Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs. Obviously, we work together on the decentralization project. We expect that I will repeat some of what he has said. Any compliance with the request by our PM, I just have to what the president will do. There are far many areas to the Governance Commission. Decentralization falls on political and legal reform. Honorable Speaker, distinguished members of the House of Representatives, I am deeply honored to appear before you on behalf of the Governance Commission under the invitation extended
through the office of the Honorable Chief Clerk by request of Honorable 𝗰𝗵 𝗦𝗬𝗧𝗧𝗜𝗡𝗚, representative of District Number 2, Lima County, to present before you this august body critical information and documentation regarding the implementation of the Local Government Act of 2018. The Local Government Act of 2018 is a landmark legislation in Liberia's democratic and governance reform process. Act on the government of Liberia's long-term decentralization and governance reform agenda. The Act was championed by the Governance Commission in close collaboration with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, and other national and international partners. The Act represents a policy reform milestone in restructuring Liberia's governance system from the highly centralized model to a participatory, people-centered governance framework. For decades, Liberia's governance structure was characterized by centralized decision-making, limited local participation, and uneven development across counties and districts. The absence of empowered local authorities led to the marginalization of local communities from national development priorities, inefficiencies in service delivery, and weak accountability mechanisms. Recognizing these challenges, the framers of the Local Government Act envision a system that will transfer or share political, administrative, and fiscal authority from the central government to local governments, thereby promoting equity, transparency, and development at the grassroots level. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and distinguished members of the House. The Governance Commission, since its establishment, has played a pivotal role in driving these reforms. The Commission's mandate, as defined by its enabling statute, is to initiate, design, and monitor governance reforms that promote democracy, accountability, and citizen participation. Within this mandate, the Governance Commission, working alongside the Ministry of Internal Affairs and the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, provided the policy, technical and institutional guidance that culminated in the passage and subsequent implementation of the Local Government Act. The LGA of 2018 provides for the establishment of county councils, district councils, and local administrations, ensuring that decision-making and resource allocation are grounded in local realities and inclusive processes. It also establishes frameworks for local revenue generation, intergovernmental fiscal transfers, and participatory planning. In response to your invitation, specifically the request from Honorable 𝗰𝗵, representative of District Number 2, Lima County, the Governance Commission welcomes this opportunity to present a detailed briefing on the status of the implementation of the Local Government Act. This includes 1. The development and formulation of detailed implementation regulations and frameworks. 2. The assessment and reaffirmations of existing cities across Liberia. And 3. The establishment and operationalization of county councils as mandated by the Act. This engagement demonstrates the legislature's continued commitment to providing oversight and regulation of decentralization as a key pillar for consolidating peace, deepening democracy, and promoting inclusive social and economic growth and development in Liberia. The Governance Commission stands ready to continue to provide technical and policy guidance to ensure the full realization of this national reform agenda. In compliance with Chapter 2, Section 2.1c of the Local Government Act of 2018, the Governance Commission, in collaboration with the Ministry of Finance and Development, in collaboration with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, has developed a 10-year plan in compliance with Chapter 2, Section 2.16c of the Local Government Act of 2018. The Governance Commission, in collaboration with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, has developed a 10-year implementation plan for the Act. This plan serves as a roadmap for operationalizing the LGA across all counties and ensuring phase for the decentralization. The ECA has submitted the certified copy of this plan to the Honorable House for your review and record. As we heard, the Honorable Minister say, due to delay in the implementation of that 10-year implementation plan here, there are now efforts to have consultants or a consultant to rearrange the implementation plan so that we work with schedule. This plan says, as a roadmap for operationalizing the LGA across all countries, and ensures phase and coordinated decentralization. The EC hereby submits the certified copy of this plan to the Honorable House for your review your record. Honorable Presiding, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished members of the House of Representatives, in partnership with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Governance Commission supported Phase 1 of the National Assessment of Cities. This exercise was conducted in April 2025. The assessment covered Bank, Magidi, and Grand counties, applying the baseline of the minimum population of 10,000 persons for a locality to qualify as a city in line with the 2022 latest census report. As you may note, the LGA provides guidelines for the certification of cities for 75 cities status, polytechnic cities, and township status, and status of boroughs. This is clear, I think, 2.16b, page 15 of the Act, and 2.16c, page 16 of the Act. Other criteria, such as access to other criteria such as access to health facilities, school cemeteries, and water systems are equally considered for city status. The draft concept book has been developed for the nationwide physical assessment of cities across the remaining 12 counties. Consistent with Chapter 2, Section 2.1 I of the LDA, the Ministry of Internal Affairs officially launched this exercise early November 2025, Magidi County, followed by the deployment of technical teams to complete the nationwide assessment and a copy of the concept book is here to the concept book. Through the joint initiative of the MIA, DC, and UNDP, county councils were formally established in all 15 counties in 2023. Each council comprises 9 members, grouped from county-based organizations according with Chapter 2, Section 2.3, A to E of the Act. From March 27 to April 7, 2023, a joint implementation verification team comprising the MIA, DC, and UNDP visited 7 southeastern counties: Grand Gire, Rogi, Maryland, Grand Sano, Roses, and Grand Bassa. Each session Your review of Chapter 2 of the LTA, verification of communication, validation and representation from public organizations. Our key findings is that in the implementation of the decentralization program, there is inclusivity. There are challenges in the terms of logistical and financial support to capital administration. There is compliance. In most cases, capital administration issue official communication. The organization like the representatives transparent. Leaderships have been fully constituted. County councils established. There are capacity gaps. There are volume requirements. Monitoring. The GC and MRA, the National Disability Information Sector, should consider to closely monitor and provide national To conclude, the NIA leads the implementation process. The Community Commission provides policy guidelines and oversight.
Sad discussions going on while the invitee presents on issues the lawmaker invited him to provide clarification about. A lot of sad discussions going on among lawmakers while the chairman of the Governance Commission presents.
Urge one of our colleagues to bring the way forward. 𝗰𝗒 𝗰𝗗 𝗦𝗘𝗦. Way forward.
Information. No, I was specific about communication. I was specific about communication. For example, I want to know which sentence I to bring documentation here, they are not presented anything. No.
You have the document? Please take the way forward. Please get the chief.
Having listened to our witnesses, starting with the Minister of Interior, addressing concerns raised by the distinguished gentleman from District 2 in my country, I think we've done justice to the communication. The Minister, when you are listening to me,
It's not dialogue. Please.
starting with the Minister of the Foreign Affairs, Honorable Member I said,
Whenever we will urge you out, if you continue to eat around the colleagues. Yes, let the colleagues make the way forward. Your house back to committee, please make the way forward.
Mr. Speaker, there was a serious concern.
The Honorable Minister of Interior Affairs addressing the concerns raised by our colleague, Honorable 𝗰𝗗 𝗰𝗗 representing the concerns will be the Minister said it. So, and the Commission on Good Governance also elaborated on what the Interior Minister said. The implementation of the Local Government Act, like we said, is a process. We have said it,
and we continue to regulate. He spoke of the training now, based on content, charging for the government president to please that our witnesses going to church and our witnesses community, a specialized community with the two witnesses that the Ministry Commission, the two witnesses can come back to the I'm going to take a second. The motion come up in second and you already vote. All those who come and say yeah. Those against the nay. The nay has it. Our witnesses will urge you to please. Our witnesses, you are free. You thank you so much. At the time, we ask the Committee on General Affairs to please accompany your secretary out and good governance.
Okay, so the witnesses are leaving now, departing the chamber of the House of Representatives. Internal Affairs Minister Francis Sikula-Jumani, and of course Professor Larry Cooper, the chairman of Commission on Good Governance.
Next. Communication to bring the school.
When they will get dropped away,
a matter of urgent national importance that warrants the immediate consideration of this August body. I wish to formally bring to the floor for record and subsequent action the commendable and intensified efforts exhibited by the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency in recent times. The agency has demonstrated a renewed commitment to its mandate, which is evident in a series of strategic arrests and interdictions of major drugs capitals across the country. These operational successes are critically important as they directly disrupt the supply chain of illegal substances, thereby minimizing the potential and sale of drugs within our communities. This proactive stance by the LGEA is a vital step towards combating drug abuse, reducing drugs-related crimes, and safeguarding the future of our youth and the stability of our nation. For this, they deserve our collective appreciation and robust support. However, Honorable Speaker Richard Nambekun, distinguished colleagues, to ensure that this positive momentum is sustained and amplified, it is imperative that the LGA is adequately equipped and funded. The well-resourced LGA is fundamental to winning the fight against the scourge of drug trafficking and substance abuse. In view of the above, and in preparation for the upcoming 2026 national budget, I hereby respectfully request your kind endorsement for the following. One, that the leadership of the LGEA is formally invited to appear before a sitting of the full plenary. Two, that the purpose of this appearance shall be to provide this House with a detailed presentation of the agency's design, operational, logistical, and capital needs for the fiscal year 2026.
Former Speaker there.
This engagement
So
will
the
provide
House of
us the necessary
Representatives
first-hand
for
information to make informed appropriations, ensuring the LGA has the requisite resources to effectively combat drug trafficking before the budget is finalized. I am convinced, Honorable Speaker Richard Nnamdi, distinguished colleagues, that with your support, we can take this decisive step to empower the LGA and protect our nation. Thank you for your kind consideration. I trust that you will treat this matter with the urgency it deserves. Respectfully submitted, Honorable Prince 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, Representative Electoral District 8, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, County, Chairman, Houses Committee on Claims and Petitions. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, honorable ladies and gentlemen, that was a reading of your communication from your honorable colleague, Prince 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 of District 8, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Thank you.
Thank you, Worship. The communication from Prince 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 craving a nod of plenary to invite the leadership of LGEA before it to provide a detailed presentation on the agency's design, operational, logistical, and capital needs for the fiscal year 2026. Honorable the Speaker and colleagues, what is the way of pleasure? Honorable 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Honorable Prince Todd, I move that Prince 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, right? Am I correct? I move that this communication be sent to committee room, that is the committee on security, and also copy be sent to the committee on drugs, the ad hoc committee on drugs.
We don't have an ad hoc committee on drugs. So the committee on now a specialized committee, right?
Specialized committee on LGEA.
Okay. The relation for the second year, I got on the board. Already on the Murder Bridge.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, for the movement. We, from our own observation, that are responsible also on the drugs issue, making it an emergency, and we ask that our colleague, Honorable 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, to bring this matter to plenary. So I will be ready to vote if we can also ask the presidential committee, that is the one that constitutes of the health and all of these people, because they also have challenges that they need to come and let us know. The one that is chaired by the health minister, the youth and sport, and all of these things, to be added to the team, for them to also come and tell us what they have done concerning the issue of drugs, what can have an eye open on the matter. I'll be ready to vote.
Distinguished colleague from Home County District number 6, I listened to your presentation. I think this is not anything that we have to drag back and forth. So I so
deny, or reject.
Already,
Honorable Speaker, my readiness to the motion is embedded in the theme of the proponents of the communication, and I want the movement to kindly listen to me, so that because I want to pray with your indulgence to modify the motion. The proponent of the communication, Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, colleagues, and the movement is asking for plenary to invite the leadership so that we can understand better of certain things, including the operational constraints. Therefore, I will appeal to the movement that the motion should either accept for the leadership to be invited here or be rejected, instead of sending them to a committee room. This communication is not intended for a committee, it's for the leadership to be invited to plenary so we can ask them questions as to their operations. So I'll be ready to vote for you to please revise the motion.
We all here are members of this house. We can request the house to do a particular piece of job. The house takes a decision through the movement. So the movement chooses that the committee go to committee, communication go to committee room. So be it. Nothing is going to say policemen or council or bring policemen. The movement, please go ahead.
As you have always stated, this house operational committee, I feel that upon receiving a report from the committee, plenary will definitely take action toward that. I still reject
Our colleagues, just for information, why you also set your dialogue here, you go to 22, go to 22, 8, 22, 9, 22, 10, 22, 11. Just look over here and tell me what happened in the floor. The movement, the room vote, go to 22, and look over room 22, 8, room 22.9, room 22.10, room 22.11.
Thank you,
The movement.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I'm ready to vote. You can just do this simple amendment with the communication going to instead of it going to the committee, let it go to leadership and have the broader idea as to those information that we need, and we can get it on time. If we can just do that, I'll be ready to go.
The committee was
This is why we have also inside individualized committee. So I see no reason where we'll have to come in plenary to, run up and down with one issue that we will have. So I definitely reject.
Thank you very much.
To the movement, I will be ready to vote if we can accept a simple amendment, knowing that recommendation come through committee. I will move and recommend that the committee on ways and means is added because the letter is talking about logistics and capital needs of the organization. So I would recommend that the Ways and Means Committee be added, and also wait to get a recommendation from the committee before plenary can take a final decision if you can accept the secret.
The movement.
Thank you for the brilliant suggestion. But I see that this will just be a waste of time.
Honorable 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Republic of Liberia. Subject: Legislative Discharge Petition for the Act to